All right, let's see what we got.
Job's done.
Pog. First hit. We get a Colossal. Turn 2. 12-12 with 4-4 Wind Fury. Broken!
Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it appears like we have a really big problem in Wild. You'll note the pun or play on words in it a little bit. Before we get into that, we are nearing 52,000 subscribers, and coincidentally, we have a giveaway going on for $100 of Hearthstone packs out of my pocket. All you have to do is go to this video, like and comment on it. It's in the description below, as well as be subscribed to the channel. We're getting really close, so thank you guys all for that support. So, what am I talking about? A big problem in Wild. Normally when we're taking a look at HS Replay, we're taking a look at standard numbers, but we haven't talked about Wild in a while, and there is a really big problem. I keep saying big because Shaman and Rogue are the only two classes, at least across all ranks, that have a positive win rate. This is unprecedented. Probably not since like Demon Hunter or Questlock Warlock have we seen two classes be the only ones that are really dominant. Paladin and Hunter kind of in there at 49%, but you can see the fall off happens pretty hard. Again, this is all across all ranks. It doesn't necessarily relate exactly what's going on, and HS Replay numbers are limited, but it doesn't take too much to realize that there is a big issue. And yes, if we look at Shaman in particular, the top rated deck on HS Replay is Big Shaman, the deck that tries to cheat out big minions really early. And well, the problem really comes down to one of the recent additions to the deck from the latest mini set just put the deck over the top, and that's Neptulon, the Tide Hunter. This 10-mana Colossal is absolutely nuts, and unlike Raid Boss Onyxia, it's not a battle cry minion. Whether you're summoning it with like Eureka or just resurrecting it with an Ancestral Spirit, you're always getting the arms that come with it, and the arms are 4/2s that are immune while attacking. But the big problem with this card is it's 10 mana, and it can come down as early as turn 1. Honestly, it's not that big a high roll, because the big card in the deck that exists that absolutely, well, breaks the deck is Lightning Bloom. Lightning Bloom is the card you are looking to draw to win the game. And I mean, take a look at the mulligan win rate percentage. When your two 10 drops are the top mulligan win rate cards, Yash, Shiraj, and Neptulon, and then you have Ancestor's Call, Muckmorpher, and Ancestral Spirit to put on one of these guys, and then Lightning Bloom, you know you got a problem. And the same goes for Glug, by the way. You Ancestral Spirit, Glug, Eureka Glug, you get the big part. So you're cheating out gigantic minions that basically create lethality on turns 1 and 2. Like, this is just gonna kill you. This is a 4/4 Wind Fury if you hit a Muckmorpher, or just pull it from your hand. It's a 7/7 Wind Fury with 2 4/2s that can also attack. Your opponent's dead. They can't respond to that on turn 1. It's just not doable. So basically the deck's been put over the top, and you can see that people even run Investment Opportunity just to draw Lightning Bloom. It's the only overload card just for that high roll. And yeah, the deck is a super high roll scam deck, but at the end of the day, it's consistent enough that it's absolutely dominating and warping the format. The only other deck to really compete is from Rogue, which if you take a look at the top win rate deck, 60%, it's Pirate Rogue, which again creates these insane early game swings that are hard carried by Swordfish. Swordfish is the card that put this deck over the top last expansion. It hasn't really slowed down. It is a 4/3 weapon. That's 12 damage. That's basically half of your opponent's life, pretty much, especially if you hit it with a Buccaneer, and then you're cheating out Frenzy Fellwings for 0 mana on turns 2 and 3. You're cheating out a Dread Corsair. You're able to draw your deck with a Cutting Class or just rip through it with a Secret Passage. Like, the deck is just, it's so aggressive, so fast that unless your deck has mass healing or mass armor gain like a Druid, you're probably dying, or you have to pull off a mass scam like a Big Shaman. And it's not just HS Replay numbers indicating this. Tempest Storm's Wild Meta Snapshot reflective as well. Pirate Rogue, Big Shaman being the only tier 1 decks, with the other decks all kind of tailing behind. But you'll notice all the other decks are still also built on scams. Like even Warlock is all about Gigathin and Sea Devil Stinger, trying to cheat those out. Cthulhu Druids, the Oaken Summons package. Pillager Rogue, same type of deal. And you can even take a look at lower decks like Mech Warper and Mech Paladin and Mech Mech Mage, and there's countless other examples. So even if you do nerf, like take a look at the top classes again here, Shaman and Rogue, you do address those in Wild, they're probably going to be replaced with other decks that create these really early game board states that are basically unanswerable, making Wild a mulligan heavy format. And I think this is really well put. I will link this video below. This video is by Getmeowth, a prominent Wild content creator, really good dude, very smart guy, goes through a whole video talking about why he is not enjoying the Wild format right now. And Getmeowth is one of the lead, like, he's put up with a lot of crap. I've had debates with him before about Wild, and I'm typically a lot more a harsher critic, and even himself is struggling to enjoy the format, mainly due, as he's showing here, 20 mana, let's say, on turns 5 and 6, not really, you know, a fun and acceptable thing. He also goes into the debate of, like, you know, Wild is an eternal format. You always hear that Wild will be Wild, it's supposed to be broken. You should be okay with these big shaman decks that can cheat out these gigantic minions turn 1. You know, it's Wild will be Wild, but there's no reason for that. Wild does not need to be this completely uncurated mess, unbalanced. It could be just another solid format that's consistently balanced, and the Wild specific cards in particular can be balanced. It won't affect standard, and if there is that outlier of a standard card, it can be banned. And we have seen more nerfs recently in Wild, with Sorcerer's Apprentice in particular being one of them, as well as that twin spell for Hunter. So it's not like it's out of the question to ask for nerfs for Wild, and I think it's within reason. And as I mentioned the other day, Aleko Goriko, again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, probably not, who is, by the way, not the brother of Korra. Korra's brother does work on the Hearthstone team, does have a Greek last name, but that's not him. So I just want to clear that up. Korra corrected me on Twitter in a very humorous way. So I'll just throw that out there again. But when he made that announcement that he's going to be working as basically like the final, like the live balance feedback guy, he was asked by Joseph here, I'm a big Wild fan, so would definitely appreciate insight into how devs view the format's health, because EG is Big Shaman fine, because we've been seeing that. It's like Big Shaman's out of control. And already, this was just a couple of days ago, he responded with, Big Shaman is on my radar for next patch. To be candid, I personally don't play much Wild and will probably lean on the community and other devs for changes in the format. So it's on their radar. They're talking about possible balance changes to Wild to correct something like a Big Shaman, maybe an aggro rogue. I don't know. Again, that's not mentioned. But for me, if you are going to correct the rogue and Big Shaman decks, for me, Big Shaman, you have to hit a Lightning Bloom. Lightning Bloom for me is the big offender. It's what gets those like scam turn 1, turn 2 giant minions. If you have to wait till turn 3 to play Ancestor's Call, or turn 5 or 4 to get your Muckmorph out, you typically have an answer or chance to answer that as another deck. Turns 1 and 2, not so much. So if I'm taking a look at Wild, what I feel like Big Shaman needs to get nerfed is Lightning Bloom, which has basically been a problematic card since day 1. And the main change I would probably make to it is that it would like refresh crystals or make it cost 2 mana. So it'd be like 2 mana, gain 4 mana crystals, overload 2. I don't know if that would break things in any other way. Like you discount the spell, you could gain mana, I suppose, but probably a way of doing it. Oh, it has to be Lightning Bloom to really address that deck. And with Pirate Rogue, I don't know, if you ban Swordfish from Wild, it might help a lot. I don't know exactly how you dial Rogue back. There's a lot of cards that get hit, Secret Passage being one of them, but again, I'm not quite sure how you hit Rogue, but Rogue is a lot more counterable. You can run weapon removal, early removal. There's not a giant minion to kill. There's just these insane snowball turns, which like Ship's Cannon and all that. Maybe nerf Ship's Cannon. I don't know. I don't know how you would do it, but I would love to hear you guys' take in the comments below what you think should change in Wild, if anything. And do you think Wild has this long-term problem of all these other decks being complete scam decks that will make the format miserable going forward unless there are mass nerfs in the format in the near future? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friend.